National Assembly Bills number 4 of the year 2025. The Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill is by Honorable Samuel Chepkonga and Honorable Dr. Otiende Amolo. This is a bill that has been debated for the better part of this morning, with lawmakers faulting the critics of NGCDF, NGAF, and the Constitution Amendment Bill 2025 is a bill that seeks to enact and embed the NGCDF and the National Government Affirmative Action Fund into the Constitution. The business of the National Assembly is just about to kick off now. The Sergeant-at-Arms carrying the mace, closely followed by the Speaker of the House, Honorable Dr. Moses Wetangula, are already in the chambers this afternoon for the commencement of business of the National Assembly this afternoon. So kindly allow me to hand over for this live broadcast brought to you by PBU in partnership with PBU and KBC. Good afternoon.
Waheshimiwa, tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetujalia nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu, tukusihi utasame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tunakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tulikutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako siendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Members, we have quorum to transact business. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
You're going to take the nearest seat. Take the walking in. Communication of your second financial year 24-25. Honorable members, I wish to inform you that I have received correspondence from the Minister of Gender, Culture and Children Services regarding the disbursement of the Presidential Secondary School Bursary Funds for the financial year 2024-25. Honorable members, as you may be aware, the Presidential Secondary School Bursary is a Vision 23rd flagship project which seeks to reduce illiteracy by increasing access to education and improving transition rates from primary to secondary schools. The bursary scheme was allocated an initial amount of 400 million in the financial year 2013-2014 and has received the same since. The bursary is disbursed to counties on a quarterly or half-yearly basis, with each of the 290 constituencies allocated an equal amount of Kenya shillings 1,379,310 to cater for an average of 45 students per constituency. Notably, honorable members, the Minister of Gender, conveys that the total amount allocated to the scheme was reduced to 325 million in the financial year 2024-25. As such, the 199,999,950 was disbursed to counties in the first half of the same financial year, and an additional 122,960,000 was disbursed in March 2025. With this in mind, it is inevitable that allocations to the counties will reduce. Honourable members, the bursary is administered through a multi-stakeholder committee known as the Presidential Bursary Committee, consisting of the following members who are appointed each financial year: one representative of the Member of Parliament, one representative of the Women Representative, one representative of religious organizations, an education officer, an assistant county commissioner as a chairperson, and a children's officer as secretary. In this regard, honourable members, and to ensure a smooth operationalization of the bursary committees, you are required to nominate members to the committees through your respective offices and submit names to the Minister of Gender, Culture and Children's Services on or before 30th June 2025. The Departmental Committee on Social Protection is hereby instructed to coordinate the collation of names from all members of this House for purposes of conveyance by the end of the day of Monday, 1st July 2025. You are accordingly guided. Next.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Allow me to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 26th June 2025, afternoon sitting. 1, status of disbursement of funds to counties under the Presidential Secondary School Bursary project for the financial year 2024-2025. 2, report of the Auditor General and financial statements of Karumo Technical Trading Institute for the years ended 30th June 2023 and 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein. 3, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the years ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of the following technical training institutes: Godoma, Matili, Musakasa, and Michuki. 4, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of the following technical and vocational colleges: Fire, Mumias West, Kongoni, Navaholo, Kerio Valley, Chamasiri, Loima, and Lodwa. 5 is a report of the Auditor General and financial statements for the years ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of the following schools: Lamu Girls Secondary School, Garbatula High School, Nanyuki High School, AIC Chabisas Boys High School, Moi Girls High School, Marsabit, Mariral High School, St. Joseph's Boys High School, and Lodwa. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Tongoyo.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 26th June 2025. Report on the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on its attendance to the 68th session of the Common on the Narcotic Drug held from 10th to the 14th March 2025 in Vienna, Austria. Table.
Thank you. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 26th June 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on its consideration of 1, the Kenya Roads Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024, and 2, the Kenya Roads Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 16 of 2025. Aye. Thank you.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Regional Development.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 26 June 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development on the consideration of the Intergovernmental Relations Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2024. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next, Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 26th June 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs on the budget implementation monitoring for agencies under the governance, justice, law, and order sector for the financial year 2023-2024. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Murugara, Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs on budget implementation monitoring for agencies under the governance, justice, law, and order sector for the financial year 2023-2024, laid on the table of the House today, Thursday, 26th June 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Leader of Majority Party. You give notice of motion.
Oh, that was Leader of Minority.
Leader of Minority Party. Honorable Jeanette.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give a notice of motion to condemnation of acts of lawlessness, destruction and vandalism on public and private properties and infrastructure during the June 25th demonstrations. That appreciating that Article 37 of the Constitution guarantees the right to assemble, demonstrate, and present petitions to public authorities peacefully, further appreciating that on Wednesday, 25th June 2025, sections of the population participated in public demonstration and protest in various parts of the country, deeply disturbed that in exercise of this great constitutional right, there were numerous cases of violence, arson, invasion into both private and public premises, attacks on innocent wananchi and security officials, most of police officers, and further deeply disturbed that demonstrators destroyed and vandalized both public and private properties and infrastructure, including courts, administration offices, shops, business premises, homes, and supermarkets in various parts of the country, including Nairobi, Kikuyu, and Olkalau, among other places. Alarmed by the attempt by the demonstrators to enter girls' schools, including the State House Girls' School, Nairobi, now therefore this House, one, condemns in the strongest terms the deliberate destruction of public and private property and infrastructure during demonstrations, including court records. Expressing grave concern over the repeated incidents of violence targeting civilians and public officers, including security personnel. affirms and acknowledges the right of every citizen to demonstrate, protest, and express dissent, while emphasizing the need to protect life, livelihoods, and property, and calls upon the Inspector General of Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation to immediately and expeditiously investigate the acts of lawlessness and those found culpable and former politicians who are involved in the planning, mobilization, and incitement goons. Mr. Speaker, I give a notice of motion.
Number 7, question.
Before we Minority Leader and Otienda for some consultation. Order. Honorable members, then we'll proceed. I hope you have all seen the order paper, supplementary. You have a supplementary order paper in circulation. After statements, and on statements, I will allow requests, which are 4, and the majority leader's Thursday statement. The responses to statements will come later. After that, honorable members, we'll do a procedural motion at order number 9, which will be moved by the majority leader, and it should be disposed of in no time. After that, we'll go to the motion to which the minority leader has given notice, and I'll allocate to that motion 1.5 hours. In those 1.5 hours, and I'm sure each one of you has a story to tell, I'll give the majority and minority leader 10 minutes each, and the rest of the members, I'll assign them 2 minutes so that we can have as many of you speaking as you can. If you think 2 minutes is too much, we can reduce. If it's too little, we can add. But I believe we can do with 2 minutes, can't we? 2 minutes each. We'll do 2 minutes. Yes, Kamukunji member. What is the issue?
I was going to suggest maybe 5 minutes, but 3 minutes would be okay. Yeah.
Okay. Let's compromise to 3. Let's compromise to 3. And after that, we will then go to the constitutional bill that will take, after we finish the motion by the majority minority leaders, we'll then go back to order 7 and take responses to statements, and then go to the constitutional bill. So call out order number, you have called out order number 7. Member for Turkana Central, Joseph Namwar. Honorable Namwar,
Yes, sir.
go ahead.
Request for statement regarding lack of development and non-exploitation of Lake Turkana resources. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson.
Honorable Namwar, speak with vigor. I can't hear you.
There's a lot of noise all over, Honorable Speaker.
Order, members. Order. Go ahead.
Request for statement regarding lack of development and non-exploitation of Lake Turkana resources. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding the lack of coordinated development and sustainable exploitation of Lake Turkana resources. Honorable Speaker, Lake Turkana is the largest desert lake in the world and designated United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, World Heritage Site. It spans Turkana and Marsabit counties and supports livelihoods for thousands of fisherfolk, fish traders, and local communities. The lake hosts a variety of fish species and is home to unique biodiversity, including numerous bird species, as well as Nile crocodiles and hippopotamuses. It also holds significant archaeological and anthropological value, most notably for the discovery of the Turkana boy. Despite its vast potential and cultural significance, Lake Turkana remains underdeveloped, and opportunities for ecotourism and cultural tourism opportunities like the Tobong Lore Festival remain largely untapped. Fisherfolk and beach management units continue to face major challenges, including limited road access, lack of cold storage facilities, inadequate fishing gear, and poor access to reliable markets. While development patterns such as the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation, NORAD, have supported initiatives in the region, their impact has been limited due to the absence of a coordinated development framework and strategic leadership in Lake Turkana. Lake Turkana holds the potential to contribute to regional economic development by strengthening blue economy, value chains, and improving linkages to nearby cross-border markets. Indeed, the theme of the 2025 Madaraka Day celebrations, promotion of a sustainable blue economy for national development, underscored the importance of unlocking such potential. It is therefore essential that Lake Turkana be prioritized for inclusive, equitable, and sustainable development by the government. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following. 1. Plans to establish the Lake Turkana Development Authority, including the expected timelines for its establishment. 2. Strategies in place to develop the blue economy of Lake Turkana, particularly in fisheries, aquaculture, and regional trade. 3. Infrastructure projects currently underway to support economic activities around the lake, including roads, cold storage facilities, and fish landing sites. 4. Support being provided to fisherfolk and beach management units, BMUs, to enhance access to equipment, financing, markets, and capacity building. And 5, Honorable Speaker, measures in place to protect Lake Turkana from environmental threats, including coordination of conservation efforts and sustainable exploitation of its resources. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Bowen. When can you bring a response?
Mr. Speaker, 2 weeks after recess, I will bring an answer.
When?
Assuming we are going to break for a recess, Mr. Speaker, I will bring in 2 weeks after recess.
No. You bring the first week after recess.
Most obliged.
Yes. Paul Abor. Honorable Paul Abor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding the status of Rongo Water Supply Project. Yes. Honorable Speaker, access to safe and reliable water is not only an essential but also serves as a catalyst for economic growth and prosperity. Enhanced water infrastructure supports commercial activities, improves livelihoods, and strengthens communities' capacity to adapt to the impacts of climate change. To this end, the Lake Victoria South Water Development Agency initiated the Rongo Water Supply Project in November 2022 to improve access, quality, availability, and sustainability of water supply in Rongo constituency. Regrettably, the contract made with the initial contractor of the project has since been terminated. Further, the Lake Victoria Water Development Agency has yet to initiate the procurement process to engage a new contractor for completion of this critical water supply project. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following. Number one, the steps taken to ensure that another contractor is procured and engaged to complete the Rongo Town Water Supply Project, including the projected timelines for resumption and completion of the works. Number two, a report on the funds disbursed to the initial contractor from the Kenya shillings 170 million allocated to the Lake Victoria South Water Development Agency for the project, and an indication of the remaining balance available for completion of the project. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, an update on the progress of the works executed prior to termination, including the percentage of the project completed by the initial contractor. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Bowen, you bring at the same time as the one of Honorable Namwar.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Beatrice Elachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to request for a statement regarding the high cost of treatment for diabetes, Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c. I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding the high cost of treatment of diabetes. Honorable Speaker, there has been a significant rise in diabetes cases in the country, affecting approximately 2.3 million people. In 2024, the World Health Organization reported increased cases of diabetes in the country, with significantly low treatment coverage at fewer than 4 out of 10 diabetic adults receiving glucose-lowering medication. This low coverage has attributed to the high cost of treatment that averages at 750 shillings per insulin injection, resulting in low uptake of the medication, especially in low-income households. The prevalence of the disease has also been attributed to the lack of screening due to limited awareness and availability of diagnostic and monitoring tests. The surge in diabetes and the high cost of accessing medication pose an imminent danger in the healthcare system and is likely to increase the mortality rates in the country if not addressed urgently. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health on the following. A detailed report on the measures being put in place by the government to reduce the high prevalence of diabetes in the country, including subsidizing the cost of treatment, the measures being taken to raise awareness and encourage screening among Kenyans, including households in rural and marginalized areas of the country, and clarification on whether diabetes treatments is covered under the Social Health Insurance Fund, and if not, the measures being taken by the government to ensure provision of diabetes treatment under the Social Healthcare Insurance Fund. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair Health. When can you bring a response?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 2 weeks after we come from recess, I'll have an answer.
1 week. You are recessing for a month.
For a month. Okay, 1 week.
Committees are not closing.
1 week.
Okay. Arama. Samuel Arama.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I request for a statement regarding the attempted grabbing of land, L number 2015-46 in Nakuru Municipality. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44/2, subsection C, I raise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Lands regarding the attempted grabbing of land in Nakuru Municipality. Honorable Speaker, for decades hard working Juakari artisans and micro-entrepreneurs have occupied the developed land in Nakuru Municipality. They said land for the purpose of informal
Order, members. Order.
Despite their significant contribution to the local economy and the national development, these citizens have continued to operate under conditions of unsanity, harassment, and the threats of displacement from the said land. This is set of affairs runs contrary to the provisions of Article 40 of the Constitution that guarantees the right to property and protection from arbitrary deprivation. Honorable Speaker, Article 10 of the Constitution enjoins all public officers and institutions to observe the national values and the principles of governance, including interdependence, protection of the marginalized, and sustainable development. The attempted grabbing of the land threatens to legitimize the long-standing occupation of the land by the artisan and its utilization for the artisan micro-entrepreneurship. It is therefore necessary that the administrative actions be taken to regularize the tenure of land occupied by the Juakari artisans. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on lands on the following. 1. A report of the status of ownership of the land under LR number 2015-46 in Nakuru Municipality. Number 2, specific steps that the National Land Commission has taken to regularize the land occupied by members of the Nakuru Municipality Juakari Association. Number 3, an investigation or site verification taken by the National Land Commission to establish that the historical occupation and the use of the land. Number 5, measures in place to protect the members of the Nakuru Municipality and the Juakari artisans from illegal evictions, safeguard their land ownership, and ensure that they issued with the title or formal tenure documents, including timelines for solving this matter. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Chair Lands, Nyamoko. When can you bring a response?
In the next 3 weeks, Honorable Speaker.
We are going on recess, so you bring the first or second day of resumption.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader.
If we get. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 24th June 2025 to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, as members will note, while the House resolved to proceed on a short recess today, it is proposed that the House alters its calendar to hold a sitting on Tuesday, 1st July 2025 as published in today's supplementary order paper. The House is therefore expected to proceed on recess on Wednesday, 2nd July 2025 and resume regular sittings on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. Honorable Speaker, I wish to commend the leadership of this House and members for the dedication and cooperation exhibited in the session so far. As members are aware, during this part of the session, the House considered and passed various key legislative business, including the following bills which have been assented to by the President today: the Finance Bill of 2025, the Appropriation Bill 2025, and the Supplementary Appropriation Number 3 Bill of 2025. In addition, the House approved nomination of various persons to public offices, including approval of nominees for appointment as chairpersons and members of the Independent Election Boundaries Commission, approval of nominees for appointment as chairperson and members of the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal, and approval of nominees to various National Government Constituency Development Fund committees. Honorable Speaker, with regards to business scheduled for Tuesday, 22nd July 2025, the House is expected to consider the Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill 2023 in the Committee of the Whole House. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, debate will be undertaken on the following motions, some of which are listed in today's order paper. 1, approval of the mediated version of the Gambling Control Bill of 2023. 2, consideration of Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill of 2023. 3, consideration of the performance audit report on the provision of services to persons with disabilities by the National Council for Persons with Disabilities. And 4, consideration of Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. Honorable Speaker, finally, the House Business Committee will reconvene again on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025 to schedule business for the rest of that week. On behalf of the House Business Committee, I wish members a good weekend. And Honorable Speaker, may I now lay this statement on the table of the House.
Order, members. Members on their feet, take your seats. Take your seats. Jerry, take your seat. Honorable members, you will notice that on the supplementary order paper, we have a motion at order number 9, which seeks to enlarge our calendar to go on recess on Tuesday. The reason we are doing that is because of the business at order number 12, the bill on NGCDF, NGAF, and other related matters. There are members who are persuading me that they have lobbied sufficiently and you may have numbers to vote. Remember that the Speaker will not call a vote unless he's satisfied that you have the numbers, and the minimum is 233. Present and voting. Hold your horses. Order. A casual count on how many we are is giving me an average number of 170. So we still have some gap. What we will do then is this, because I've also been given a long list of members who wish to speak, but I'm told they are ready to forego their intention to speak. If we achieve the numbers and the whips can get on overdrive, and not just the whips, chairpersons of various caucuses, reach out to your members and get them here. Once we finish the motion at order number 10, we'll still do order number 9 in 2-3 minutes. If by the time we finish order number 10, we have the numbers, I'll order the vacation of the resolution at order number 9. Then we go to a vote. In case we don't have the requisite numbers, the resolution at order number 9 will stand, and you will be obliged to be back here on Tuesday. So let's go to order number 9. I hope that is clear to everybody. So let everybody be a constructive whip now to look for your colleagues who are not here. And in the event you have the numbers, then order. In the event you have the numbers, then I'll call the House to a vote by 5 p.m. 5. Order. Order. Call the next order. Yes.
Order number 8, the Judges Retirement Benefit Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the pension and other retirement benefits to judges of superior courts and for connected purposes. Order number 9, motion, alteration of the calendar of the House.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that notwithstanding the resolution of the House on 13 February 2025 and 27 May 2025 and pursuant to the provision of Standing Orders 28.4 on calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter its calendar so as to 1. Commence its short recess on Wednesday, 2nd July 2025, 2. Hold a sitting on Tuesday, 1st July 2025, commencing at 2:30 p.m., and 3. Resume its regular sittings for the second part of the fourth session on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. Honorable Speaker, I don't need to say anything. You had already said the intent of this motion.
Yes.
I beg to move and request the Leader of Minority, the Honorable Junet Mohammed, to second.
Mr. Speaker, I stand to second.
Thank you. Order members on their feet. Take the nearest seats. Honorable members, I now propose the question at order number 9, which is that notwithstanding the resolutions of the House on 13th February 2025 and 27th May 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Orders 28.4, calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter its calendar so as to 1. Commence its short recess on Wednesday, 2nd July 2025, 2. Hold a sitting on Tuesday, 1st July 2025, commencing 2:30 p.m., and 3. Resume its regular sittings for the second part of the fourth session on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. I put the question. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 9, which is that notwithstanding the resolutions of the House of 13th February 2025 and 27th May 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Orders 28.4, calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter its calendar so as to 1. Commence its short recess on Wednesday, 2nd July 2025, hold a sitting on Tuesday, 1st July 2025, commencing 2:30 p.m., 3. Resume its regular sittings for the second part of the fourth session on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, like I had said, if we don't garner the numbers, we'll sit on Tuesday. The consequence of that is I am going to direct immigration that anybody who has plans to travel this weekend will not be allowed to leave jurisdiction until we finish this matter on Tuesday. So if you have planned to travel and we don't garner the numbers, go and readjust your travel arrangements. You will not be allowed to leave jurisdiction until after Tuesday. Next order.
Order number 10, motion. Condemnation of acts of lawlessness, destruction, and vandalism on public and private properties and infrastructure during the June 25th general demonstration.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move motion on condemnation of acts of lawlessness, destruction, vandalism on public and private properties and infrastructure during the June 25th demonstrations. That appreciating that Article 37 of the Constitution guarantees the right to assemble, demonstrate and present petitions to public authorities peacefully further appreciating that on Wednesday, 25th June 2025, sections of the population participated in public demonstrations and protests in various parts of the country, deeply disturbed that in exercise of this great constitutional right, there were numerous cases of violence.
Order members who are walking out of the chamber. Honorable members. Yes, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm actually speaking in relation to members who are walking out of the chambers. They may have misunderstood what you said. As soon as we get quorum, we proceed. We only don't proceed if there is no quorum. So I'm requesting members, wherever you are, please come into the House. Yes. We only need you 20 more. Please come back into the House.
In fact, if you get quorum, I'll curtail the debate on this motion. You vote, then we carry on. Go on, Jeanette. Order. Go on, Jeanette.
Mr. Speaker.
Start afresh.
You know, when members, when they want to come to this House, Mr. Speaker,
yes,
they really want to come and sit on these chairs.
Yes.
When they get an opportunity to sit on these chairs, Mr. Speaker, their buttocks cannot hold these chairs. They just want to run out, Mr. Speaker. I don't know what they're looking for. Mr. Speaker, there are numerous cases of violence, arson, invasion into both private and public premises, attacks on innocent wananchi and security officials, most of police officers, and further deeply disturbed that demonstrations destroyed and vandalized both public and private properties and infrastructure, including courts, administration offices, shops, businesses, business premises, homes, and supermarkets in various parts in the country, including Nairobi, Kikuyu, and Kalau. Among other places, alarmed by attempts by demonstrators to enter girls' schools, including State House Girls, Nairobi, now therefore the House 1, condemns in the strongest terms the deliberate destruction of public and private property and infrastructure during demonstrations, including court records. 2, express grave concern over repeated incidents of violence targeting civilians and public officers, including security personnel. 3, affirms and acknowledges the right of every citizen to demonstrate, protest, and express dissent, while emphasizing the need to protect life, livelihoods, and property. And 4, calls upon the Inspector General of Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to immediately and expeditiously investigate the acts of lawlessness and bring to justice those found culpable, including current and former politicians who are involved in the planning, mobilization, financing, and incitement of mobs, goons, and criminals. Mr. Speaker, the country is fully aware of what happened yesterday. And all of us are aware.
Order, honorable members. Given order members, order Mandazi. Honorable members, given what happened yesterday, it should be a concern to all of you. Either you are affected or you know somebody affected. I would expect you to be listening in silence and making a contribution that helps us move forward as a country. The manner in which you are loudly conversing, holding illegal kamkunjis on the floor, Rindikiri, that kamkunji is illegal. I urge you, members, for Kenyans to understand and appreciate your leadership, that you speak soberly, you exercise some restraint in your conversations. If something is pressing and you want to talk, I have made rooms for you out there to do so. You can go and do so. And give those who want to pay attention and listen, including your speaker, time to do so. Jeanette, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have moved a motion, Speaker, concerning what happened yesterday in our beloved country. Mr. Speaker, all of us were around this country yesterday. We had a sitting of Parliament yesterday, a morning sitting where we passed very important business of the country. But Mr. Speaker, as explicitly written in the motion, Kenyans have a right to demonstrate. Under Article 37, every Kenyan has a right. And one of the things we have given ourselves to in the new constitution, Mr. Speaker, is the strongest Bill of Rights in the world, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, secondly, I sympathize and empathize with the people who lost lives in the demonstrations of yesterday and the previous ones. It is not good for Kenyans to lose their lives in that kind of manner. And we want justice for them, Mr. Speaker, so that anybody who had any crime to be brought to book. But what happened was not the normal demonstrations. It was, Speaker, it was a political that was meant to overthrow the existing governance of this country, Mr. Speaker. People have been mobilized. We have been demonstrating since independence, especially people like me who belong to ODM. Mr. Speaker, when you want to demonstrate nationally, you allow everyone to demonstrate in their respective areas, in their respective counties and sub-counties. You don't move people from one county to come to Nairobi to demonstrate. That kind of ethnic mobilization that we saw yesterday was something else. It was a demonstration, Mr. Speaker. Why do you carry people all the way from Kiambu, from Thika Road, from up there, Thika, Muranga, Georgia, to bring them to Nairobi to demonstrate, as though there are no people living in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker? What happens if I had to carry people from Migori and Homa Bay to bring them here to demonstrate? Mr. Speaker, what happened yesterday was ethnic mobilization to fight and overthrow the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, Kenyans are being lied to. Kenyans are being told that this is a Gen Z demonstration, Mr. Speaker. I want to prove to Kenyans that there was no Gen Z demonstration because colleagues of ours were used to mobilize people to come and demonstrate in Nairobi. We know Honorable Kakuya, Honorable Major Dong, Honorable Manzo in Mwote, all were mobilized to bring goons and people to Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that there is problem with this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me have my say, you will have yours. Mr. Speaker, this is what happened. The newspapers and the media of this country will not tell you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, people have not been used.
Without a substantive
Mr. Speaker,
we cannot mention.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr.
Speaker,
take your seat. Order. Take your seat. If order. Robert Mbui. Order, Robert Mbui. Take your seat. That is not how to make your point. Take your seat. Take your seat. Robert Mbui, take your seat. Order, members. Order, members. Order, members. Robert Mbui. Order, members. Honorable Robert Mbui. Order. Order, honorable members. Honorable Robert Mbui. The Speaker knows only too well what the standing orders say. In fact, I drafted them. And I don't need you to raise your voice and bang tables for me to enforce them. He was in the middle of a statement and I was going to stop him. So far, he had not order. I need no assistance from any one of you. Honorable Robert Mbui, you have a point, but you can prosecute it honorably and decently. All you needed to do was rise on a point of order and say what you are saying without belligerence, without banging tables, and the way you are behaving is like you are going to go physical with your colleague. That is not you. That is not you. Honorable Junet, you only mention your colleagues adversely after you have brought a substantive motion to the House. saying that members were involved is sufficient. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, why do I say so? Mr. Speaker, the media of this country, Mr. Speaker, will tell you that the demonstrations were organized by Gaucho. They will tell you the demonstrations were organized by Gaucho. They will tell you they were organized by Matakwei. They will tell you the demonstrations were organized by Sakaja. They will not tell you the real culprits, the people who are organizing these demonstrations, Mr. Speaker. So it is incumbent upon us as people who have to discuss matters of national importance, Mr. Speaker, to tell Kenyans the truth, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what happened yesterday was very clear. Mr. Speaker, it was not a Gen Z demonstration. It was a demonstration that was organized politically in this country, Mr. Speaker. And you can see where it happened. It took place in Nyeri. That is where Rigathi Gachagua comes from. It took place in Madira. It took place in Kisii. Mr. Speaker, the standard that has been set, the standards that has been set by Rigathi Gachagua in this country is that if you want to qualify to become a presidential candidate in his so-called opposition alliance, you must do as much demonstrations as you can. He has given them a benchmark that for you to qualify to become a presidential candidate in their team, you must cause anarchy and you must do demonstrations, and that is how you are going to qualify to become one, Mr. Speaker. And destroy property. Mr. Speaker, this ethnic mobilization in this country must end. Demonstrations must be for all Kenyans. Why do you destroy the property and the livelihoods of your own community, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Rigathi Gachagua. Mr. Speaker, you can see the kind of planning that has been put into this matter. You can see the kind of money that has been paid into this matter, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we must call a spade if we are to save this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am standing to move them. Mr. Speaker, my second point.
Order. Yes, Wanjikumoya, what is it?
Honorable Speaker, you just ruled a few minutes ago that Honorable Junet should substantiate when he's mentioning the names of persons on this floor. Was Honorable Rigathi in Homa Bay? Was Honorable Rigathi in Mombasa? Was Honorable Rigathi in Kakamega? Was Honorable Rigathi everywhere?
Order. Order, Honorable Wanjik. Gone. Order. Gone.
Mr. Speaker, I want to tell Honorable Muya that there was no destructions of property in Homa Bay. There was no destruction of property in Kisumu. There was no destruction of property in Kisii. But there was destruction of property in Nyeri. There was destruction of property in Nyandarua. There was destruction of property in Kikuyu. There was destruction of property in Nyamakima. That tells you who the chief goon is. The chief goon is Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we must call a spade today. We must call a spade today, Mr. Speaker. You can see, Mr. Speaker, this is one man who is holding his community hostage, Mr. Speaker. He has decided to use his community and destroying their property and making and impoverish them in this country, Mr. Speaker. This is the Lord of poverty. This is the man who wants to make the community from Mount Kenya to become poor so that he can rule them, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this.
Order, members, listen to yourselves.
Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. This country has a constitution. This country has a government. The government of the Republic of Kenya and the constitution must make sure that every citizen's life is protected and their property is protected, Mr. Speaker. We have an election in 2027. We don't have any other election before then. If you want to remove a government, you will not do it by force. You will not do it through demonstrations. You will not do it through burning and destroying people's property. You have to wait for the election to arrive. Mr. Speaker, my second point on this matter, the media of this country. Mr. Speaker, I support the freedom of the media, Mr. Speaker. And yesterday, I was sad when the live coverage was removed, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, the freedom of the media also must come with responsibility, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the media must be able to make sure that they report accurately and factually, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for example, what is happening with the Standard newspaper and the KTN, Mr. Speaker? This is a media house that is hell-bent to create genocide in this country. We have, as a house, Mr. Speaker, we have to interrogate the issue of politicians owning media houses in this country, Mr. Speaker. I'm aware one Honorable Gideon Moi is the owner of Standard newspaper and this KTN, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, he cannot use his media house to settle political scores unless or otherwise he wants to become like Felician Kabuga of Rwanda, Mr. Speaker, who has caused genocide. Now the Felician Kabuga of this country now is Honorable Gideon Moi, Mr. Speaker, because he's using his media house like the way Radio Mill Collins was used in Rwanda to cause genocide, where 800,000 people were lost, Mr. Speaker. We must call a spade, Mr. Speaker. The media house, the media must enjoy their freedom. The media must be allowed to do their work. The media must be allowed to exercise their constitutional rights, Mr. Speaker. But the media that is owned by politicians who are trying to use their media houses to settle political scores, Mr. Speaker, we must call them out here because they will cause genocide in this country, Mr. Speaker. I am told Gideon Moi is the one who used to keep Felician Kabuga in Kenya when his father was the president. And he was hiding here. Maybe he learned those bad manners from Felician Kabuga, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this.
Yes, Kagusha, what is it? Honorable Kagusha.
Honorable Speaker, is it in order for the honorable member to continue mentioning the names of honorable members, either present or who have been in this house before, adversely in this house without a proper motion? Honorable Speaker, on the same...
Take your seat. Honorable Kagusha, you have been a Speaker of a County Assembly before. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Honorable Kagusha, you have been a Speaker of a County Assembly before. The standing orders that we wrote for this House are applicable where you are Speaker. When he mentioned sitting members of Parliament and Robert Moi protested, I stopped him. Order. Order. Honorable Kagusha, as a first-term MP, if you think you'll gain traction by being sent out of the House, I will not send you. Just take your seat and become and participate in debate. You want to speak, I'll give you an opportunity. But don't be rowdy. Former members of this House don't enjoy the privileges sitting members enjoy. Read your standing orders properly. Go on, Junet.
Mr. Speaker, you know, Honorable Kagusha was the Speaker for Nyeri County Assembly. This is National Assembly. It's a different area. This is a different place, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. Mr. Speaker, this country, there are people in this country who are hell-bent to take this country to anarchy, Mr. Speaker. Just because we impeached them. Just because they lost a job. And they lost their jobs because of their bad manners, Mr. Speaker, of creating division, telling Kenyans you have shares, you have no shares. That is why he was impeached. Now, when you get impeached and you lose your job, you want to take this country to anarchy, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and impoverish people. Mr. Speaker, we will not allow that. Yesterday, we were told we were commemorating the Gency's death, Mr. Speaker. Is Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka Gency? Is Eugene Wamalwa Gency? Is Rigathi Gachagua Gency? Is Jimmy Wanjiga Gency? Is Maraga Gency of all people? What Gency was there for us to see yesterday? We saw all the men who are supposed to retire, who are running around here, running for political office, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when Baby Pendo was killed in Kisumu, Mr. Speaker, Eugene Wamalwa was a cabinet minister, Mr. Speaker, of the Republic of Kenya. When we passed the draconian laws of the security laws in this House, Mr. Speaker, Justin Muturi was the Speaker. When the IG, the independent office of the IG was mutilated in this office, Mr. Speaker, Justin Muturi was the Speaker, Mr. Speaker. Now, Justin Muturi now says he wants to be chair of some commission called Justice Commission. That commission must start by investigating Muturi himself, Mr. Speaker, because he's the one who has caused the highest atrocities in this country by occupying the office of the Speaker, Mr. Speaker. And all those are on record, Mr. Speaker. We are not going to keep quiet anymore because we can see our country. They want to take our country down to the dogs, Mr. Speaker. They want to make Kenya a banana republic. Give
him a minute.
If you want to remove William Ruto as the President of the Republic of Kenya, wait for 2027. There will be an election on the 10th of August 2027. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by saying this. Kenya is a constitutional democracy. Kenya is a constitutional democracy. Let people not hide under the guise of Gen Z to cause anarchy in our country, Mr. Speaker. There is a deliberate attempt in this country to silence all institutions in this country. They want to silence Parliament. They want to silence everyone who speaks for the people, so that the only people who can speak are the civil society, LSK, and other kind of people. Mr. Speaker, I look at now the chair of LSK, who is my friend. Her mandate has expanded from legal issues now to political issues. Now we should elect the president of LSK through universal suffrage. Because, Mr. Speaker, that's the work she's doing. She's doing politics all the time, Mr. Speaker, which is good for the country, but she should limit her work to advocacy of rights of the people, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this in conclusion finally, that what happened yesterday was an attempt to take over power unconstitutionally, to do a coup on the governance, on the government of the Republic of Kenya. We lost an election as ODM. We disputed the election. We went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court told us you have lost the election. We abided by the decision of the Supreme Court. We never attempted to overthrow the government. What the hell can this Rigathi Gachagua do that he can take power through unorthodox means? Gachagua must be arrested as early as tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I beg to move.
I beg to move, Mr. Speaker. And I request the leader of the majority party, Honorable His Eminence, His Highness, the Kingpin of Mount Kenya, Kimani Ichung'wah, to second the motion.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to second this motion. Honorable Speaker, as I second this motion, it's important.
Order.
It's important, Honorable Speaker, as I second this motion, for us to be clear on what the motion is asking us to do. One, Honorable Speaker, is to affirm and acknowledge that the people of Kenya and every citizen in the Republic of Kenya has the right to demonstrate, protest, and express dissent in accordance with our Constitution, but do so peaceably and unarmed, Honorable Speaker. The other thing we're asking to be done by this motion is to condemn, in the strongest terms possible, the wanton destruction of property today. And I dare say, Honorable Speaker, that wanton destruction, as the mover of this motion has said, was visited largely on the people of the Mount Kenya region, where I come from, on businesses owned by the people of Mount Kenya. If you look at Nairobi County, Honorable Speaker, the businesses that were looted were largely businesses owned and being run by people from Mount Kenya. Whether it is OTC, whether it is Nyamakema, Honorable Speaker, I was under attack myself. But I watched a clip by a young lady who was praying to the Almighty God that you, God, who has provided me with resources to stock my shop that was looted today, I pray that the God I pray to will restore my business, everything that I have lost, and double it. And I want to assure that lady, we will support you even as we seek to support other people who lost lives and livelihoods, Honorable Speaker. And let me express my regret, Honorable Speaker, and my condolences to those who lost their lives, not just yesterday, but even last year, Honorable Speaker. But we must have a way to mourn and memorize those that we have lost. We do not need to lose more lives to memorize those that we lost last year. Yes. We do not need to. Honorable Speaker, the other thing this motion is asking us to do as a House is to call upon the Inspector General of Police and the DCI, the Director of Criminal Investigations, to immediately and expeditiously investigate the acts of lawlessness and bring to justice those found culpable, including, Honorable Speaker, current and former politicians who are involved in the planning, mobilization, financing, and incitement of mobs and goons and criminals, Honorable Speaker. That for me is cardinal, Honorable Speaker. June 2024, 25th of June 2024, with the unfortunate incidents that happened, Honorable Speaker, we let it pass. If you can protect me from the member for Narok County and the member for Elgeyo Marakwet. Honorable Speaker was saying June 2024, we let it pass. And 2 sitting members of this House who are being investigated by the Director of Criminal Investigations rushed to court, obtained orders to stop their arrest, following information that the DCI had that they were involved in the mobilization of goons that looted from the people of Mount Kenya in Nairobi, including the burning down and deaths of Kenyans at the Sunbeam building somewhere along Kimathi Street, Honorable Speaker. They continue to be protected by the judiciary, Honorable Speaker, through that court order. Court orders using anticipatory bails cannot be into perpetuity, Honorable Speaker, because we are breeding impunity through these conservatory and preemptive orders, Honorable Speaker. The same characters, Honorable Speaker, are involved in the mobilization, financing, and looting that you saw yesterday, Honorable Speaker. Their chief financier and key mobilizer, Honorable Speaker, yesterday, we lost a court in Kikuyu. The Kikuyu law courts were all razed down and everything looted, including the destruction of court records, including titles deposited in those courts, securities of people deposited in those courts, and criminal records, Honorable Speaker. This acts, as the first part of this motion says, these are not just acts that happen. They are deliberate. They are mobilized. They are being financed by somebody or a group of people who, Honorable Speaker, then rush to court to get protection. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, to speak to the judiciary today. And you know, there's that saying that say when they went for the Gentiles, I kept quiet because I was not a Gentile. When they went for who, I kept quiet because I was not who. When they came for me, there was nobody left to speak for me. The impunity we started breeding last year, Honorable Speaker, is what is destroying this country today and destroying the fabric of the country that we call Kenya. Honorable Speaker, it's not just the law courts that were destroyed in Kikuyu. The DCC's office was also razed down. I have said the law courts, the sub-county, the county offices, including graders and machinery of the county government of Kiambu that help our people to do their roads, and county records, including our own property records in those offices, Honorable Speaker. The people doing this, Honorable Speaker, and that is my greatest concern, and that's why I alluded to what we are calling upon the DCI and IG to do, is that people are being ferried from Limuru and Dagoretti into Kikuyu and some as far as Kiambaa and Juja to come and visit the wanton destruction that you saw yesterday. Honorable Speaker, I am growing old, but I am not older than my father. My father is 105 years old, with a wife who is 85 years old, my mother, Mary Mombi. And they have worked hard to bring us up and to raise businesses that have supported our family. Yesterday, Honorable Speaker, there was an attempt to kill my 105-year-old father and 85-year-old mother. All in the name of myself being the leader of majority in this house and having done my work to the best of my ability as God may help me. And I saw by the Bible, Honorable Speaker, standing before you, that I will execute my duties without fear, without favor, and to the best of my ability. And I will continue to do that, Honorable Speaker. Let nobody be in doubt. The Honorable Junaid Mohammed has mentioned names. I did say here last year during the impeachment process of the former deputy president that this is a dark man with a very dark heart. Very black heart. I dare say today, Honorable Speaker, in this house, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is the one who directed goons he mobilized to go and murder my parents, destroy my property in Kikuyu, destroy the property of the people of Kikuyu in the name of revenge. Honorable Speaker, we cannot build a country that way. That is why, Honorable Speaker, we are asking the Inspector General of Police. It cannot rest at this. Nobody, not Kimani Ichung'wah, not Rigathi Gachagua, not the sitting members of parliament in this house, Honorable Speaker, who are doing this work, and some 2 senators, Honorable Speaker. And as Honorable Junaid Mohammed has said, if you look at the trajectory of violence and destruction that visited, you can associate that violence with a particular politician and the area they come from and the kind of thuggery that was going on, Honorable Speaker. So as we condemn, Honorable Speaker, let us call on the Inspector General of Police and the Director of Criminal Investigations. Anybody involved in this criminality, whether it is Kimani Ichung'wah, whether it is Junaid Mohammed, whether it is Rigathi Gachagua, whether it is Jane Kihara, whether it is Kaluma, whether it is Ngogoyo, whether it is Major Dong, whether it is Kakuya, whether it is Senator Medho, investigate each and every one of them without fear or without favor, and whoever is culpable, bring them to book, Honorable Speaker. Because we cannot have a country of lawlessness, Honorable Speaker. We cannot have a country... Honorable Speaker, I was finishing by saying we can't have a country where I purport to speak for the people, my people, yet I mobilize people to destroy my people's property. I mobilize people to kill our own people so that we make political capital out of it. We must desist as political leaders in this country from using our people as political pawns to make political capital out of, Honorable Speaker. And I condemn the lawlessness, the violence, and congratulate the people of Mombasa, Honorable Speaker. The people of Mombasa yesterday demonstrated what peaceably demonstrating is. What happened in Nairobi and in other areas in central Kenya were riots, disorder, and anarchy, Honorable Speaker. And the owner of that anarchy is known, must be apprehended. Honorable Speaker, allow me to commend the police also for the restraint that they exercised yesterday and for the hard work they put yesterday when a police lady was being brutalized by men, grown men, beating up a woman, Honorable Speaker. It's the most despicable thing you can find, that a man is stepping on a police officer on her head. Honorable Speaker, there were criminals who attempted to get into State House girls. It is not William Ruto's children who go to State House girls. It is not Kimani Ichung'wah's daughters who are in State House girls. It is our children. Why would anybody mobilize criminals to attack young schoolgirls in a school? I commend the police for protecting State House girls, protecting other lives and property that they protected yesterday, Honorable Speaker, and call on them to take action on the financiers, the mobilizers, and those particular criminals, and those who want to drive our country to anarchy. And we tell them, resounding as a house, we shall not allow our country to be driven to anarchy by bloodthirsty people, bloodthirsty politicians who have no agenda, who have no vision for Kenya, who can only harp on Gen Z. A Gen Z, a generation, they are neither a Gen Z, nor do they have children in their houses who are Gen Zs, Honorable Speaker. I have 2 Gen Zs in my house. I know
what these children want. Those who are just harping on Gen Zs and riding on their wave, Honorable Speaker, are only trying to take advantage of a desperate generation of young Kenyans. Let us desist from doing that, Honorable Speaker, and I beg to second.
Order, honorable members. Those on their feet, take your seats. Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that appreciating that Article 37 of the Constitution guarantees the right to assemble, demonstrate, and present petitions to public authorities peacefully. Further appreciating that on Wednesday, 25th June 2025, order, members. Order, Martin. I think in the induction we told you that however pressed you are, when the speaker is on his feet, you maintain studious silence. Further appreciating that on Wednesday, 25th June 2025, sections of the population participated in public demonstrations and protests in various parts of the country. Deeply disturbed in exercise of this great constitutional right, there were numerous cases of violence, arson, invasion into both private and public premises, attacks on innocent wananchi and security officials, most of police officers, and further deeply disturbed that demonstrators destroyed and vandalized both public and private properties and infrastructure, including courts, administration offices, shops, business premises, homes, and supermarkets in various places in the country, including Nairobi, Kikuyu, and Olkalau, among other places, alarmed by attempts by demonstrators to end girls' schools, including the State House Girls, Nairobi. Now, therefore, this House, 1, condemns in the strongest terms the deliberate destruction of public and private property and infrastructure during demonstrations, including court records. 2, express grave concern over the repeated incidents of violence targeting civilians and public officers, including security personnel. 3, affirms and acknowledges the right of every citizen to demonstrate, protest, and express dissent, while emphasizing the need to protect livelihoods and property. And 4, calls upon the Inspector General of Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to immediately and expeditiously investigate the acts of lawlessness and bring to justice those found culpable, including current and former politicians who are involved in the planning, mobilization, financing, and incitement of mobs, goons, and criminals. Honorable members, the screen is too small to accommodate all of you, so I'll use a show of hands to pick on those to speak. Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
Remember, everybody has 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me first of all offer my condolences to the family who lost their loved ones yesterday, the ones who lost their loved ones 2024, the ones who lost their loved ones 2023, the ones who lost their last one in 2022. Mr. Speaker, I have noticed that the media has forgotten that we also lost loved people in Kisumu. Maybe because they come from Kisumu, they do not matter. But I want to offer condolences to every family who has lost a loved one. Mr. Speaker, Article 37 guarantees the right to demonstrate peaceably and unharmed. And Mr. Speaker, I'm one of the people who pushed for that article in the Constitution, and I will defend it with my life. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, it was very sad to see what happened yesterday. Mr. Speaker, ODM and Azimio have become the experts in demonstration, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, when we were doing that, we were called anarchists. Bear
fidelity to history.
Exactly.
You as truly here was with you in CORD and NASA.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So it's not just ODM.
No, I've said ODM and Azimio and NASA.
Yes.
And CORD and all those. But the constant one is ODM. Mr. Speaker, for me as Emilio Odhiambo, I can't cheat you. I thank God that I'm resting, Mr. Speaker. I don't think people understand what it means to go to the streets. I understand when the Gen Zs are writing letters to their parents saying may not come back. I would tell my husband that because they didn't know I'd come back. So let us be. You called us names, Mr. Speaker. You called us names. You said we are anarchists and all that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, but who is God? God creates balance. Mr. Speaker, you called us names when we were fighting for the same rights you are fighting for. Mr. Speaker, now, or that you said to be fighting for. Mr. Speaker, now instead what you are telling us is that Baba is eating and observing table manners. Mr. Speaker, if you can give me 1 minute, Mr. Speaker, because I was interrupted, or 2 minutes. Mr. Speaker, it's difficult to be Baba. You are damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, Mr. Speaker, we are only learning from the best. You have observed table manners since independence. Let people from the lake also observe table manners. For once, let us also observe table manners. And take over, and I've heard people saying that in terms of demonstration, you've overtaken Baba, that we've been lying, that we want to, that no. I am glad to note that you have overtaken us. Please do it excellently. But Mr. Speaker, I want to say one thing, if you would allow me. Mr. Speaker, as a women's rights activist, Mr. Speaker, yesterday I left my house, not caring for my life. I went to State House when I saw on social media that State House was under attack.
Give her 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When I saw State House girls was under attack, Mr. Speaker, I didn't care for likes. I condemned when the policewoman was under attack. Mr. Speaker, we cannot allow such things. Mr. Speaker, where we are attacking women, and then, Mr. Speaker, today in the morning in the WhatsApp group of FIDA, I saw something very disturbing, that women were being removed from motorcycles, they were being gang raped, and they were being, even in our time with our excellence, even when we were infiltrated, that has never happened. Never. Mr. Speaker, I said this and people condemned me as a Christian. Come, let us reason together. It's not about who is winning. This country belongs to all of us. Thank you.
George Murugara.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me also to...
Seeing the interest, I will reduce the time to 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Allow me kindly to empathize with the families and the persons who suffered fatalities yesterday, their properties damaged. This is abhorrent. It has nothing to do with Gen Zs, because we know for sure these youngsters were out to express themselves, but some hooligans hired by unscrupulous persons invaded them and decided to take things south. Honorable Speaker, I think always we must be the role models and examples. Even now we've been told ODM, the members who are here, Junet Mohammed, Emilio Odhiambo, are examples on how we should be demonstrating. Honorable Speaker, as I watched the leaders who went to the streets, including a former Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, and for once, I asked myself whether really this is what a former Chief Justice should be doing. I saw another former Vice President of the country, Kalonzo Musyoka, carrying a wreath to go and lay on behalf of those who had lost their lives. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But you do not lay wreaths on the streets to remember those who had passed on.
Order. Order, Jess Kambalu. Order.
You actually lay wreaths on the graves of those who passed on, not in the streets. So I wondered what Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was doing, especially to our young people who should be learning from him, emulating him on how we should be properly doing our things. As leaders, we are role models. We are not there to incite young people, misdirect them, or mislead them. We are there to tutor them to rights and the paths of righteousness. So, with all that, while the Gen Zs were right, our politicians were not right at all, and this is the time they should be called upon to account. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Robert Mbui.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also condemn in the strongest terms possible the destruction of property and infrastructure. And, but Mr. Speaker, we must be careful, because when you look at the way this motion is worded, we seem more concerned about the property that was damaged, and we are not talking about the 10 people that lost their lives yesterday. We are not talking about the 60 that lost their lives last year, right here in Parliament.
Order,
Mr. Speaker,
Robert Mbui, order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order, Robert Mbui, take your seat. Save his time. Save his time. Robert Mbui, I'm also sitting here and I listen. Let's have fidelity to facts. Milo Odhiambo next to you has eulogized all the dead up to 20 years back. Your neighbor there who moved the motion talked about the same thing. Kimani Ichung'wah talked about the same thing. So let's bear fidelity to facts. The motion is not just about what is written, but also what is going to the Hansard. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker,
your time was saved, so you have not lost.
Mr. Speaker, the motion is very clear. It doesn't actually talk about the 60 that were killed last year. It doesn't talk about the 10 that were killed yesterday. It talks only about the destruction of property. So, Mr. Speaker, it's important. It's very important that we be careful about this issue. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Junet.
Mr. Speaker, is my deputy, who is not behaving very well also. Mr. Speaker, is it in order to mislead the House that we are in demonstrations, we have only lost 10 people, 60 people, when he knows very well we were with him having sofrias on our head, and we lost over 100 people on the road, Mr. Speaker, and he was part of us that time. Why is he not talking about those ones? All because they are Luos, Mr. Speaker, and their lives don't matter. Luo lives don't matter in this country, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the minority leader knows that we also lost people from our region during all those demonstrations. So it's not about tribe. Mr. Speaker, we have to be careful not to trivialize a very serious thing. Now, Mr. Speaker, my concern is this, that this regime, unfortunately, seems to be curtailing rights that are enshrined in our Constitution under Chapter 4. Mr. Speaker, the first one is the freedom to demonstrate, Article 37. Yesterday, you know that the police were trying to stop our youth from demonstrating, which unfortunately is against the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the right to life, police bullets have taken so many lives, and that is against Article 26. Mr. Speaker, the freedom for movement, which the minority leader has talked about, that people are coming from other places, is a right under Article 39. And Mr. Speaker, also the freedom of media under Article 34 has to also be respected. These rights are being trampled upon. But Mr. Speaker, more importantly, the reason behind yesterday's function is that we were coming to lay wreaths. Mr. Speaker, you know, you gave us permission. We laid wreaths even with members of this House. Outside Parliament, with your permission, I had informed you that my leaders would also be coming to lay wreaths, and you didn't refuse. You only said they don't come.
I told you it was not welcome in the presence
of Parliament. You said they don't come into Parliament. Yes. Mr. Speaker, we laid the wreaths at the fence on the barbed wire that has been put, that is barricading Parliament. Mr. Speaker, how does a member then wake up and say that it is wrong for my party leader to commemorate and mourn those that were killed from all regions of the country? So, Mr. Speaker, I think let us not trivialize this thing. I have seen there's an attempt to try and malign certain individuals out of yesterday's activities. Mr. Speaker, this was spontaneous and it was done across the country. And Mr. Speaker, I condemn the destruction. I condemn the looting. I condemn the killings. But we must condemn it fairly so that we do not make it a partisan issue or an individual.
Yes, Deputy Speaker. Everybody has 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I must say that I give my condolences to the families who lost their loved ones. Also, my sympathies with the police officers who are injured. And also, congratulate the police for trying to keep the peace of this country. Honorable Speaker, what happened yesterday was not demonstrations. They were not peaceful demonstrations. Those were acts of hooliganism by criminals who destroyed people's properties. Today, there are people in Nairobi and other parts of the country who are facing bankruptcy. There are people who will not be able to pay for their children to go to school or even feed their families because they have lost everything and all their investment as in the name that somebody was exercising their right, their constitutional right to demonstrate. Yes, you can exercise your constitutional right to demonstrate, but you cannot exercise your right while you destroy the properties and the rights of others. That is completely unacceptable. Your rights end where the other person's rights start. And so we must guard our country from anarchy. We must take action against those who attacked our police stations. CCTV footage is available. They should be arrested and they should be charged. Because even if they are our children, they are not permitted to destroy people's properties or to burn down the government property, vehicles, police stations, courthouses. And I must say, shame on you, Chief Justice Maraga. You're currently on pension paid by the government. They pay for your cars, they pay for your gardener, they pay for your cook, and then you go to the streets to demonstrate and mislead our children, to destroy people's properties. Shame on you, Chief Justice Maraga. Somebody of you...
Farah Malim.
Mr. Speaker, I also begin by sending my condolences to all those ones who lost loved ones in all the incidents that had happened in this country for a very long time. Mr. Speaker, please, Mr. Speaker, there are countries that are autocratic and there are countries that are despotic. There are countries that are ruled by dictators. It is better to be ruled by a despot than to get into a situation of anarchy and chaos and you have a dissolution of that country. Mr. Speaker, the cardinal rule of the executive in this country here, Mr. Speaker, protect me from all this.
Order, honorable members. Let's listen to one another. Go on.
Mr. Speaker, my message goes out to two people. Anybody who is a dignified, retired politician who is having a pension on the basis of that position he held like a speaker, or anybody or in the judiciary, or a politician who is a former president or a former prime minister and gets involved in these kind of things, we should make a law that makes sure that he does not enjoy those perks again. I respected Maraga up until now, but I've now seen that he is nothing but a chaotic anarchist. Juvenile and many others. Mr. Speaker, they took a bit of my time. Give me 1 minute. Mr. Speaker, the most protected place in this world is the White House. It's not the Pentagon.
Give him a minute.
It is not the Pentagon. If you try to scale the boundary of the White House on 1600 Philadelphia Street, you'll be shot in the head. Immediately there are snipers out there to make sure that nobody scales that. When you have an ambition to go and occupy State House, you have occupied Parliament, you have burnt what do you call the judiciary. Mr. Speaker, that is anarchy and chaos, and it is on the executive to make sure that the institutions are protected, the lives and properties of Kenyans are protected, and there is a rule of law. There is only one way of dealing with people who are lawless, and that is a very firm application of the law itself. Mr. Speaker, we don't want to have a failed state. If we continue with this kind of liberalism and the way things are happening right now, Gachagua should be in prison today. He should be out there recording a statement and going to prison and going to court. And so should be all those other...
Mary Masse, order. Mary Masse.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand also to condole with the families who lost their loved ones and also wish quick recovery to all those who got injured, including our police officers who are putting their life in line to protect Kenyans and their property. Honorable Speaker, what happened yesterday was very disgusting, despicable to say the least. Honorable Speaker, what we witnessed yesterday was an organized uprising against this country. And we cannot allow this to continue, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we've had demonstrations in the past. We have had demonstrations, but the peculiarity of the recent demonstrations is disturbing, Honorable Speaker. Why are they targeting protected areas like Parliament, like State House, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, I want to support the position by the members who have spoken that these incidents must be investigated thoroughly and all the culprits brought to book, Honorable Speaker. We cannot continue to watch Kenya degenerate into a state of lawlessness and anarchy because we do not have any other country to go to. This is our country. And I conclude by saying, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, we need to bring an amendment in law to this House where we designate specific places for picketing so that if you want to picket, there is a designated place for you to go and picket. Not everywhere and disturbing everyone's peace and disturbing people's businesses and destroying people's property. It's unacceptable, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Kibagendi, what's your point of order? You have a point of order. Yes, what is it? Kibagendi, hold your horses.
Mheshimiwa Spika, hapo awali tukianza bunge hili ulisema kwamba iwapo kwamba wabunge watajisajili wa kutosha ili turudi kwa ule mswada wa NGCDF ungesitisha mazungumzo tupige kura. Ngoja kidogo tafadhali. Wasiwasi wangu Mheshimiwa Spika, ndio sababu nisimame kwa point of order, ni kwamba nimeona chamba hichi kilikuwa kimejaa na wengine huenda wakawa wako na shughuli ambazo zinawafanya wanatoka. Ifike wakati wa kama nitujadili mswada huu tuwe hatuna idadi ya watu, na kuomba Mheshimiwa Spika kwa taadhima zote na heshima usitishe mjadala huu, kwanza tujadili mswada uliokuwepo tupige.
Thank you, Honorable Chonga. From where I sit, I can see all of you, and I can tell how many you are. Since I made that pronouncement, the highest recorded number has been 193. That is not 233. The highest number you have recorded since I made the direction has been 193. So the moment you reach 233, I'll stop the clock on this motion and we vote. The moment we don't get there, the motion we passed stands. Thank you. Kibagendi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I want to appreciate for this opportunity. It is the first time you've given me a chance to speak outside a question or statement in this House. I appreciate. I want to also associate myself with the concerns that have been raised by my fellow colleagues, especially on the destruction of property and killings and the unfortunate things that happened yesterday. I, however, would also like to caution, we need to be also talking about the issues that have been raised by Gen Zs. The issues raised by the Gen Zs.
Fatuma, just hold on, Kibagendi, hold his time. Yes, give Mama.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Kibagendi has just made a statement. Maybe you didn't take notice. But it is the first time that you've given him an opportunity to speak in this House.
Yes.
I would like him to know that you don't pull people from their seats to speak. You must raise your voice. You must show that you are interested in speaking. So I beg him to withdraw that statement because you don't work in partiality. You are very considerate, Mr. Speaker. And he's never even in the House and he's blaming you. You don't point people from their houses to contribute. That is wrong, Ms. Kibagendi.
Thank you. Thank you, Fatuma, for defending me. And that's why I ignored it. Go on, Kibagendi.
That's extremely responsible from my fellow honorable member.
Go
who
on
does
with your
not.
contribution.
Now, I wanted to make a point this way, Honorable Speaker. We must stop trivializing the concerns of young people of this country, and trying to make it become like it is a Gachagua thing. Kenyans demonstrated across the country, and it is because of their concerns that we must all rise up and support these young people. Honorable Maraga did not come to the streets because he just wanted to come to it is because of the concerns of young people. I'm perturbed by what Honorable Farah Maalim and the Deputy Speaker speaking about Honorable Maraga and those who've spoken about the former Deputy President. It is irresponsible.
What is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Kibagendi is saying this was a GNC demonstration. Could he share the House with his experience in organizing the one in Kisii County, Mr. Speaker? Because he was the supervisor and organizer of that one, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I hope you'll add me the time because you realize all this time members have been...
Go ahead with you.
What I'm saying is this. Honorable Junet, with all due respect and all the leaders that have spoken before me, we need to be more concerned about the issues raised by young people in this country rather than trivialize this to what Gachagua has done to this country. Gachagua is such a small person. Did he organize in Mombasa? Did he organize in Kisii? Did he organize in Kericho? Why don't you have him arrested? Deal with Gachagua in accordance with the law. And finally, we want to advise that this
Mwafrika, you have 2 minutes. Avoid side shows and just contribute. Mwafrika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't want to repeat what has been said by other members, Mr. Speaker, but I have an issue of the way deployment of security was done yesterday selectively, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to give an example of the
Let's listen to Mwafrika.
Mr. Speaker, I have an issue in the way security was deployed yesterday selectively. I would like to give an issue of Githurai, Mr. Speaker. Cooperative Bank, Githurai branch, was broken into. Next to Githurai branch, Mr. Speaker, we have Kasmat Supermarket, a Jubo mega supermarket, Mr. Speaker. It was also broken into. Mr. Speaker, across the road at Githurai roundabout, another supermarket, Kasmat Supermarket, the goons took 3 hours to break into that supermarket. Mr. Speaker, I just wondered, there was no even a single police officer at Githurai, Mr. Speaker, to offer the basic security of minimum security services of crime prevention, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, security was deployed selectively, and I will be raising a statement for the police to explain to us where the police officer were, where the goons took 3 hours to break Kasmat Supermarket in Githurai, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Totienda Molo.
Mr. Speaker, as a veteran demonstrator, I empathize and condole with the families that lost their loved ones. We must say that Article 37 is very clear, the right to demonstrate peaceably and unarmed. But that right does not extend to an attempt to establish government other than by law. Article 3.2 is very clear, and it must be read out that any person, any attempt to establish a government otherwise than in accordance with this constitution is unlawful. We must be very clear, Mr. Speaker. Demonstrations are different from anarchy. What we saw in Mombasa were demos. What we saw in all those other places mentioned in the motion, that was anarchy, and it cannot be tolerated. Mr. Speaker, we condemn the hiring of goons. We condemn the torching of, courts, police stations, and houses. We condemn the extreme provocation of the police. But, Mr. Speaker, I also condemn the CAK for stopping live coverage, because the CAK cannot do that in the face of a very clear judgment by the court. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for also giving me this opportunity to air my views.
Order, Mama Machakos. Order. Yes, Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have really not lived for long in this planet Earth. It's just nearly about 4 decades. And about 3/4 of such I've lived in the Mount Kenya region. Honorable Speaker, what I saw yesterday in Mount Kenya has never been seen before. And I'll be very specific on Mount Kenya because that is a place I grew in, Honorable Speaker. What I saw in terms of looting and destruction of property has never been witnessed before, Honorable Speaker. And we call it by its name. But there are 3 things I'll speak to, Honorable Speaker. Number 1, we need to review the police laws, Honorable Speaker. We need to find a way to guard our police officers from these anarchists that are emanating from all over. That is number 1. We really must review that. Number 2, if you can protect, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Kamene, you have the right to converse with your neighbors, but not to shout the way you are doing. Please keep your cool.
So, number 1, Honorable Speaker, we need to review the police laws. We need to protect our police officers. Number 2, we need to look into the question of pension or those officers, the retired officers who are pensionable, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Muturi earns more than 1 million shillings, Honorable Speaker, from the pension, from the taxpayer, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka earns a lot of money, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Maraga earns a lot of money. That law must be reviewed. They need not to earn when they are actively involved in such things, Honorable Speaker. Number 3, Honorable Speaker, it's the question to the former Deputy President. You claim to speak for the Mount Kenya region. Now speak about the destruction of property. Speak about the loss of jobs. Talk about Naivas that was looted in Nyeri. Now talk about those young people that lost jobs in Nyeri. Talk about...
Elachi. Okay, give him a minute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Talk about the lives lost. Now talk about the Kikuyu Law Court, Honorable Speaker, that was burnt down, Honorable Speaker. Talk about those people who are suffering, Honorable Speaker, when they were going home after doing their business, Honorable Speaker. They were being stopped by goons and they were being asked of money before they passed, Honorable Speaker. If this person speaks about, claims to speak about, for Mount Kenya people, this is the time we want to hear about those people who lost businesses in town, those people that have suffered, Honorable Speaker. And there is no question about it. Honorable Rigathi Gachagua must be arrested. And all the politicians that work under him, they should be arrested and investigated because we saw some of them moving around and claiming that they are supporting this movement called Gen Z, which is a lie, Honorable Speaker. There is no movement called Gen Z. These are criminals. There is nothing like that. There is nothing called Gen Z, Honorable Speaker. Those are people who are hiding behind a generation to loot and bring anarchy in this country, Honorable Speaker.
Elachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to say that indeed it is very unfortunate as leaders to just see our country go. And indeed, it is very sad that when you are in this house and you think the things that are happening outside there will not find you on the doorstep, then I think you've never remembered what happened in 2007, Mr. Speaker. We started a joke. We ended up with all the lives we lost. And so as much as I will say today that it is sad for parents who lose their children because of political scores, that today we are here again discussing an anarchy in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, I will tell you, and first of all, thank all the constituencies in Nairobi that made sure they restrained themselves from destroying property. But at the same time, the rapes that happened on Thika Road, Mr. Speaker, has never been done like that. And Mr. Speaker, I want to speak as I finalize to our generation, that you are a young generation that can shape the future of this country. You are innovators, you are digital. But I want to tell you, in a world where it's growing with a lot of conflict,
you will be overwhelmed and people will take advantage. But I want to say, we must bring a law here to give incentives to our young people to start businesses without taxes so that we give them jobs, because in their generation, there is no jobs. Everything is going digital. They will never have employment. We must think, and we must tell those who are thinking, you can use Gen Zs to have power.
Madenge. Before Madenge takes the floor, I acknowledge in this public gallery Ararat Shiner School from Ainabkoi was in Gishu. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome them to the House of Parliament. Madenge.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to add my voice in saying pole to the families who lost, who had their loved ones lose their lives because of the demonstrations yesterday. Mr. Speaker, yesterday was a sad day for Nyeri. And Mr. Speaker, this nation has to have those of us in leadership and those of us who are citizens rising up to the occasion and saving our country. We have to become the conscience of our nation. We cannot solve our grievances by destroying what we have. The time has come for a candid conversation. Our young people are speaking, but they must know that this country, to get where it has gotten, it has taken painstaking building. And it is important that we appeal to them that this country belongs to them, but they cannot be able to live in a country that is ruined and destroyed. Mr. Speaker, I pray for moderation across the board, right from those of us sitting in this House who have made statements that only serve to inflame passions and emotions. Mr. Speaker, it is important that we realize that we are standing at a very crucial point. Our country is at crossroads. We must save our country. I plead with all of us that we rise up to the occasion and do what has to be done. Our country cannot get destroyed in our hands and during our time.
Mwashako? Is that Mwashako? No. Member for... Yes, take the floor. Yes, the member from Kisi.
Barongo.
Barongo.
Yeah.
Yes, my friend Barongo. Give him the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to also contribute on the what we witnessed yesterday. Mr. Speaker, I can see from the mood of most of the members a blanket condemnation of what happened yesterday. But, Mr. Speaker, this has not happened just once. This is the second time that this is happening. And for sure, next year, the Gen Zs again will rise up again to continue to press all of us around addressing the issues that are very important to them. So as much as we are condemning everything that went wrong yesterday, we must laud these people for pushing us to be better versions of ourselves so that we can be able to bequeath them with a better future going forward. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Didymus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this, that what we witnessed yesterday was not a demonstration. What we witnessed yesterday was a group of criminals that were mobilized by an individual who want to use the tears of Kenyans who are losing their businesses and the blood that our young people are shedding to resurrect his already stifled political career. Honorable Speaker, the person who orchestrated masterminded and funded these activities is well known, Mr. Speaker. The police must arrest the former impeached Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, because we cannot continue as a country to watch a tribal individual mobilizing his members of his communities to engage in hooliganism, Honorable Speaker. The blood of the people who lost their lives, the tears of those whose businesses were broken into, Honorable Speaker, will cry revenge on the life of Rigathi Gachagua. He cannot be mobilizing members of his community to begin maiming other people, to begin destroying the properties of the people of Kenya. Yet he is busy looking for tenders for his own children. The law must be applied equitably and equally, regardless of whether the criminal is a rich who live in the castle or is a poor person who lives beneath the bridge, Honorable Speaker. The Rigathi Gachagua must be arrested and prosecuted and taken to jail.
Bensouda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also rise to make my contributions on this motion. Honorable Speaker, what happened yesterday, as a parliament, we have to condemn in the strongest possible terms. Number one, I want to say that we must rise to a parliament, a nation that solves problems. We must not allow some people to take political scores because we have a little bit relaxed on providing for justice. The justice we are talking about, the families that their children lost their lives. We need to organize for a national prayer, give them compensation, and shame the demons in the broad daylight. Mr. Speaker, number two, the police have tried, and yesterday they exercised restraint. We have to take it that they must be beefed up in terms of their numbers, whether it requires additional resources, Mr. Speaker. I came to Parliament yesterday and saw the work that they were doing. I want to applaud them, but they need to be increased in number so that we don't have a situation whereby when things are getting out of hands, then we direct the GSU to come. I witnessed next to the Parliament here, the people who are hiding behind Gen Zs, Mr. Speaker. The Gen Zs came in, and when they walked and found the policemen, the age of the real Gen Zs, they were allowed to walk in. All of them clapped, and they were young children. But the ones who were exercising hooliganism, Mr. Speaker, those are not Gen Zs. My third contribution, the women are the largest numbers who lost their properties yesterday, besides the ones who were raped. I could see the ones who are confessing over the television. The majority are the women.
Benja.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to join my colleagues in condoling the families who lost their children, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as a way of information...
I'll reduce to 1 minute now.
Mr. Speaker, as a way of information, because I've had members talk here, I was here in the 11th Parliament, Mr. Speaker, and I'm aware we passed a law called Deputy President and other State Officers Retirement Benefits Act, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, in that act, we are giving the retired Deputy President some salary and vehicles, retired Chief Justice, retired Speakers, Mr. Speaker. But we also said in that act, Mr. Speaker, that for as long as they are not engaged in political activities, Mr. Speaker, they will enjoy that pension, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want now to ask the executive to remove vehicles and salaries from former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, to remove vehicles and salaries, Mr. Speaker, from the retired Chief Justice, Mr. Speaker, because they are now engaged in anarchy, they are engaged in politics, Mr. Speaker. The law is there, Mr. Speaker. We only need to execute the law so that we make sure they enjoy the retirement or they play politics, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Patrick Macau.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I too join the families of those children who lost their lives and also the policemen who are hurt during the demonstrations. Mr. Speaker, I think as a House, it is high time we listen to ourselves, listen to the young people, and ask ourselves, what's the bigger question? How do we engage these young people? Mr. Speaker, I agree. There could be people who are inciting them. But the bigger picture is how we engage them. Because as a parliament, you know how much we are looked at as though we don't fight for them. Mr. Speaker, I want us to stand up and engage the young people of this nation. And Mr. Speaker, again, I want also when the policemen are out there, when they are controlling these crowds. Mr. Speaker, when I look at yesterday at Matu, 2 people were shot. When you look at the crowds which were at Matu and Wote, compared to Nairobi and other places, 4 people lost their lives. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge even the...
Sane.
Mr. Speaker, the right to demonstration is enshrined in our Constitution. Looting supermarkets, robbing mama bogas, burning police stations, personal properties are not within the realm of that right. Mr. Speaker, protests are majorly political from what I have observed. We elect leaders through the ballot. We have a legitimately elected president. Marching to State House is tantamount to a coup, which is unacceptable. I'm looking forward to a time when somebody from northern Kenya can be a president peacefully. Nyanza can be an elected president, can produce a president. The western Kenyan people can be president. The coastal people can be president. We can't have a monopoly of leadership just because somebody cannot be the president. I entirely don't approve that.
Chonga.
Asante mstahiki Spika. Mimi nimekuwa mmoja kati ya ambao washawahi kuwekwa ndani kwa sababu ya maandamano. Chenye mimi najiuliza Spika ni kwamba maandamano ya kila wakati yanapokuja kuna wizi, kuna ubakaji, kuna maisha tunapoteza. Tukiwa wabunge wenye tengeneza sheria, tutakaa tuangalie hii hali paka lini? Mbona hatusikii maandamano Rwanda? Mbona hatusikii maandamano Tanzania? Mbona hatusikii maandamano kwa majirani? Wakati tukiandamana hakuna faida tumeweza kuipata isipokuwa ni hasara zaidi ya hasara. Nataka kizazi ambacho kinakuja kitukumbuke ya kwamba bunge hili lilisimama kidete na likakuja na suluhisho ya kusitisha kutafuta mbinu mbadala za kuweza kuwasilisha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I really sympathize with those ones who lost their properties and lives under the hands of a bloodthirsty personality, a vampire of our generation, the man who cares less, the man who feels nothing. Mr. Speaker, we as members of parliament have come across the wrath of this man. I had started with the wrath of this man on Sunday. He came to my constituency insulting everybody, and he brought this to Nairobi. It is a shame. It's a shame to the organizers. It's a shame to those and encourage our people to. It is so bad. It's a shame.
Member for, is it north of Bidu?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, to give me the opportunity for me to contribute. Condemn what happened yesterday. Goons cannot rule a country. Goons will only destroy a country. So whatever happened, if anybody has any issues, we don't condone goonism. And goons are in every form. Even in my county, there was a goon which was going on, up to the point of county assembly could not sit because goons were employed by the governor and he was stopping the members of the county assembly from sitting. So we should condemn goons in all forms so that we get safe in Kenya. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Speaker, sorry.
Tongoyo, Chairman, Security, I'll give you 2 minutes by virtue of yours.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I want to join the rest of us who have spoken to condemn what happened yesterday, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I should also want to really pass my condolences to the families who lost their loved one in yesterday's demonstration, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, from the very start, Honorable Speaker, what happened yesterday was not, Honorable Speaker, demonstration. There are riots. Honorable Speaker, as much as Article 37 talk clearly about the right of Kenyans to demonstrate, to picket, to assemble, it outlined the condition under which it has to take place. It says that it has to be peaceful, the demonstrators has to be unarmed. And Honorable Speaker, what we saw is totally the opposite. The people who participated in the demonstration or in the riot, Honorable Speaker, they are armed. And the intention was very clear, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what is so surprising, Honorable Speaker, is actually when, Honorable Speaker, you take keen look to what actually these people, the places they ban, the police station, the Ngao offices, the supermarkets, you keep wondering what the intention was, Honorable Speaker. In fact, Honorable Speaker, I'm sorry to say, in one instance, I think it was in Kikuyu, these people raided the police station and they ran away with ammunition box full of bullets, right? You keep wondering, Honorable Speaker, what were they up to? You just conclude, Honorable Speaker, these are the people who are outrightly out for a coup, a civilian coup, to overturn a legitimately elected government.
Edith Nyanze, did you give him 2 minutes?
Thank you.
You've done your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
Edith, just hold.
Yes.
Wind up what you're saying.
Honorable Speaker, as I finish, Honorable Speaker, I want really to commend the work done by our police officers, the very patriotic, dedicated officers who actually went beyond the call of duty to protect this country. Honorable Speaker, it's a moment we should be able to have a candid conversation to really, Honorable Speaker, come to our senses and able to protect this country, because we don't have any other country to run to. We only have one country, Kenya, and we must safeguard it. And if it means for looking at our security laws, Honorable Speaker, we should actually do the same, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Edith Nyanze.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me take this opportunity to empathize with the families who lost their loved ones and also people who lost property and livelihoods. Mr. Speaker, let me say that as we condemn and see some people organize the strikes or the riots, let's also recognize that there is a problem in our country. How can our youth be so daring to even want to lose their lives? That means there is a lot of hopelessness. There is a lot of desperation. And this is the thing which we should actually be addressing. How can we help our Gen Zs? How can we help the young people? We should not continue condemning other people who do not have instruments of power. Who has the instrument of power? Because we can't keep on blaming other people who have no power, like we keep on...
Member for Kwanza.
Mr. Speaker, this demonstration I saw yesterday, there was not a demonstration. There was an anarchy, and I want us as a parliament, Mr. Speaker, if you could listen to me, I think let's have a solution. Because as it is, we are just talking. I want us to at least sit as a house to be able to demonstrate to the Kenyans that this is what we are going to do in the case. Because there are even people who are actually leaders in this country who are involved. That we saw. So I would suggest, Mr. Speaker, that this House can form a team to be able to look at this and see how far we can go to condemn the whole thing and see what can be able to be done.
Wakili Mureo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I want also to empathize and give my condolences to the members of the community who lost their lives, even the community who lost their properties. Mr. Speaker, as we talk about the riots and looting yesterday, there is one thing we are not focusing on, why is the country angry? Why is the country angry? The country is angry because the youth do not have a job. The country is angry because there's overtaxation. The country is angry because the government has refused to listen to them. Yesterday it was Raila. Today you are saying it's Gachagua. What I want to tell you is this. Unless we address the core issues affecting this country, mismanagement of the economy,
Nyakundi. Give Nyakundi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for also giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, what we witnessed yesterday was pure anarchy. What we witnessed yesterday was looting, terrorism, someone who wanted to take this country to the goose. And as this House, we cannot accept, and the people of Kenya, to be taken to the goose by someone who was fired or who was impeached because of his bad manners. As a country, we sympathize with those who lost their loved ones. We sympathize for everyone who lost his property yesterday. But as this House, we must sit down and look on the solution towards the problem that we have as a country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Odanga Makoha.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I condole with the families that lost their loved ones, and also I pray for those who are sick, those who are maimed and injured to recover quickly. Honorable Speaker, we need a conversation. The young people who have spoken, they are speaking repeatedly. We need to listen to them. A conversation is very critical, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable.
Zaire. Can somebody look for Jeanette? It's time we...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to express my condolence to the family of the ones who passed away. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this motion and totally condemn the acts of lawlessness, destruction, and vandalism that we witnessed yesterday in this republic. Let it be clear, this country upholds the right to peaceful assembly, but what we witnessed was not a generic demonstration, Mr. Speaker. It was a coordinated assault on the very foundation of our republic. A coup attempt and more of a terrorist attack to this government by the Lord of Impunity, Rigathi Gachagua. Honorable Speaker, it is not enough to condemn. I request through you.
Mama Nairobi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I pass condolences to all the families that have lost their loved ones and wish quick recovery for the ones that are in hospital, I would like to talk about the Law Society and the action that they need to focus on. Penal Code 137 says that any person who improperly and indecently interferes with or offers any indignity to a dead human body. And then there is also the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act, unauthorized publication of intimate and offensive images, even if true. Honorable Speaker, we're seeing a tendency of videos of the dead being taken and shared online, not caring about whether the parents of that dead person know or whether the parents of that dead person or the family members would want to see the bodies of their dead being displayed on social media. I feel that this is a breach of the law, and we should respect the dead, and we should, even if we take the videos, we should share them directly with the family, but not online to get...
Lel Mengit.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My heart goes to those families who lost their loved ones. And also, Honorable Speaker, I would like to condemn what happened yesterday. Honorable Speaker, those are not Gen Zs, and we are using this term Gen Zs wrongly. Those who are organized political or criminal gangs, Honorable Speaker. These are bitter people, these are vengeful people, these are desperate people who see death and blood as Christmas celebrations. Honorable Speaker, this has to be out in public, Honorable Speaker, that these are people who are bitter and who are angry for power, Honorable Speaker, who are organizing these demonstrations and destroying property and lives of people, Honorable Speaker. I want to urge and also condemn the police out there that you exercise powers according to the constitution of this country, and I want to condemn you for the restraint that you had yesterday, and I pray that...
Condemn or commend? Yes, Kajwang TJ.
Mr. Speaker, you need a state to enjoy your rights. Listen, everybody. You need a unified state to enjoy those rights. You need a stable country to enjoy those rights. Those rights you cannot enjoy if we are in a turmoil in a military state. The way we are going into Kenya, we are going into a military state. We are. Those people who cannot face the ballot and cannot get power through the ballot are taking us straight to the military dictatorship. And I can tell you, the shortest period of time a country has got out of military dictatorship is 15 years, 20 years actually. In fact, you will need the whole generation to wipe out the whole generation.
Give him a minute.
Just to finish a sentence, you will take a whole generation to come back to a democracy. So don't joke. Don't joke with this thing. If you want power, talk to your people from Mount Kenya and come to the ballot and take that power. But you cannot take us to a military dictatorship. Even when I, from Ruaraka, would go to the streets every day, I only went there because I wanted my democratic rights to enjoy. But I don't go there in a void, in a military state. Mr. Speaker, we need a country where we are ruled by the rule of law. I am ashamed. Two chief justices. In fact, I think I'm a better chief justice than some of those. Huh?
Kahangara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Let me also pass my condolences to the families of those people who lost their lives last year and this year. And Mr. Speaker, let me say that Kenya is a democracy, a country that holds elections every 5 years, meaning that people have an opportunity to put in the government that they would want in place, and will not allow a government where people want to come through the back door. Mr. Speaker, let me speak for the police. Our police have really shown restraint. And as a country, if we want to move forward, how do you expect our police officers to be able to protect property when people are coming when they are armed and police are not able to take action? Mr. Speaker, I think this is an opportunity for us as a House where we should be able to sit, and if it means changing our laws so that we can be able to protect the people who are supposed to be protecting us as the police, we ensure that they are able to arrest, they are able to stop what was happening yesterday. Otherwise, when we...
Thank you, Kahangara. Mover to reply. We gave 1.5 hours. We have exceeded by 5 minutes.
Oh? Are you allowed to donate?
You have 5 minutes to reply.
No,
you can
10,
donate.
10, Mr. Speaker, I have 10.
You have 10 minutes?
Yes.
You can donate.
1 minute to Gogo.
Order.
1 minute to Gogo. And 1 minute to Bararot.
2 minutes.
And 1 minute to Al-Kalau. That is all, Mr. Speaker. Only 3 minutes.
Okay. Kogo. Lillian.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I don't know whether to thank you or to thank my majority leader, because I raised my hand throughout and you simply refused to see me.
Just thank the Speaker because I can
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My question is, as I condole with the people who lost their families, as I condole with the mothers who lost their loved ones, as I condole and empathize with the people and the women and the young people who lost their businesses, were these people going to State House or were they going to State House girls? And what interest did they have in State House girls? And finally, Honorable Speaker, I want to say, they went burning police stations. They should take, it has been said that Gachagua should be arrested. He should be arrested, be put up in a police station, and I will personally go and put that police station in flames so that it is destroyed forever. Then after that...
Thank you,
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to extend my message of condolences to the families who lost their dear ones. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I want to condemn the anarchy we saw yesterday in our streets. Mr. Speaker, my message is that these people, the sponsors who led actually in the demonstrations yesterday, Gen Zs have been saying that they are leaderless, but we saw leaders yesterday, former leaders, joining the demonstration. They should be punished, Mr. Speaker. Another thing, Mr. Speaker, is that the NCIC, what is their role currently in the country? We've seen a lot of and witnessed a lot of hate speech, but NCIC are quiet. They are supposed to come out and protect. Another thing, Mr. Speaker, is the IPOA. Criminals should not use IPOA as a way.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to send a message of condolence to the people who lost their loved ones, and in a special way, Mama Brian Dongo from Olkalau. Honorable Speaker, having said that, this House must look at what happened yesterday like a timing bomb. There is clear disconnect between the Gen Z and the country leadership. And this House, no, we cannot pretend that we don't know. We know the issues of unemployment, the issues of abduction, the issues of continued killing of their colleagues, and that is why the Gen Z came. And the Gen Z are normally very peaceful until they are brutally provoked by government-sponsored goons. Sakaja plan failed. Yesterday, Gen Z finished their demos at 4, and the goons that were organized came on the street to loot. And we cannot call the Gen Z the looters. We cannot call them the goons. They are goons who are sponsored by...
Yes, yes, Masara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Migori has been the headquarters of demonstration. I thank the people of Migori because yesterday Migori was very quiet. Mr. Speaker, we have only one country. And those who are thinking they can ban this country, where will they be after the country is banned? I want to request each and every citizen that it is high time we sit down and agree that if it is power was there the other day. Power has left them less than 2 years, and they have started banning their own property. Mr. Speaker, I can say that moving forward, we are not going to blame Gen Zs. We'll talk to our young people and tell them, some of us, like me and Junette here, we are a product of civil society. From councillor to mayor to now MP and going to be the next governor of Migori. Young people, let you not be misused, let you not be go astray. You have a future. This country belongs to you after we have...
Now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, I want to thank the members of this House for taking their time to contribute to this important motion, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with the Constitution, it is only this House that can address matters of concern to the people, Mr. Speaker. And what happens yesterday must be a matter of concern to the people of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've listened keenly to the contribution of every single member, and every member has reiterated that this country cannot slide to anarchy. We must have a country that we are all proud of, Mr. Speaker. We must have a country that serves us all equally, irrespective of our religion, our race, our community, our tribe, our color, please, and all kinds of things. Mr. Speaker, but one thing I've noted, Mr. Speaker, from the contribution of my members is that they have confirmed all and sundry here that yesterday's demonstrations were not Gen Z demonstrations. They were political demonstrations organized by politicians who are power hungry, who are impeached, and who want to come back to power through the back door, Mr. Speaker, and take this country to the dogs. I want to speak to the young people of our country, Mr. Speaker, wherever they are, may they be in my constituency or in other constituencies, that your good intentions of rectifying what is happening in this country, of speaking to the powers that be, has been hijacked and overtaken by selfish, inward-looking, self-interested politicians, Mr. Speaker, who are power-hungry, led by one man called Rigathi Gachagua. Mr. Speaker, a member here said that Sakaja brought goons. Was Sakaja in Olkalau? Was Sakaja in Kikuyu? Was Sakaja in Nyeri? Was Sakaja in Kiambu? Was Sakaja in Muranga? Was Sakaja in Madira? Was Mei in Kieni? Sakaja was in Nairobi. But the distractions and looting that happened in Mount Kenya, Mr. Speaker, is what we describe today as ethnic mobilization. Someone has decided to mobilize his ethnicity, thinking that he can invade State House and take power through a coup. Power can only be gotten through the ballot, Mr. Speaker. You have to go and campaign, talk to the people, sell your policies, tell people what your manifesto is, and they will elect you, and then you can rule the country, Mr. Speaker. Any other shortcut to power, nobody will entertain it. No country, no country will allow that, and no citizen will allow that. Mr. Speaker, our country is a very beautiful country. The constitution that we enjoy in this country, Mr. Speaker, very little countries have, including developed countries in Western world, Mr. Speaker. The kind of constitution we have, the Bill of Rights, the kind of constitution we enjoy, no African country enjoys, Mr. Speaker. But there are people who are hell-bent to mutilate and discard that constitution, Mr. Speaker, for their own selfish. One of the things I've heard this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, that has shocked me, really, and sent shivers in my spine, Mr. Speaker, is when the leader of majority stood in his place in the House, Mr. Speaker, and said that their home was invaded for the sole purposes of killing his father, who is 105 years, and his mother, who is 85 years, Mr. Speaker, what have the parents of the majority leader got to do with the politics of this country? A man who has done everything he could do in this world. Mr. Speaker, he has even informed me privately here that one man had to be shot so that the thugs can run away, Mr. Speaker. And they have confirmed, I can say this on the floor of this House, that those thugs were organized and supervised by one man called Rigathi Gachagua, Mr. Speaker. What kind of inhumanity can that be, Mr. Speaker, that you want to attack the parents of a politician because you don't like that politician? You want to kill the parents of that politician. If that man can now think of killing the parents of the majority leader, Mr. Speaker, what do you think that man is going to do in 2027, Mr. Speaker? No wonder he said that 2027 will be a Christmas party. 2007 will be a Christmas party, Mr. Speaker. The member of parliament from Odaya has just told me now, Mr. Speaker, that he has lost one of his constituents yesterday. He has lost a constituent. The member for Odaya, Mr. Speaker, here, a very close, campaigner of his, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, why are we allowing this anarchy to perpetuate in this country? And now they are using the name of Gen Zs to cause anarchy, to cause mayhem, to maim women, to kill people, and to... Mr. Speaker, I asked when I was moving the motion, if you want to demonstrate nationally, you can demonstrate in every part of the country where you are. You don't have to transport people from Kiambu, from Muranga, from Nyeri, from Laikipia, and bring them to Nairobi so that you demonstrate. What happens if the member for parliament for Narok East, yes, decides to bring his people, the Maasais from Narok to Nairobi, and then Billy Odhiambo decides to bring Sobas from Soba, and then Wanyonyi brings people from Trans Nzoia, and everyone meets here in Nairobi. What kind of country are we going to have? So, Mr. Speaker, these are people, now I see them now walking around in the wards of Kenyatta Hospital today, saying that they are visiting young people that they brought to the streets so that they can be injured, they can be killed for no reason, Mr. Speaker. The young people of this country have good intentions, we know. They want our country to be safe. The young people of our country don't want what Gachagua is planning. They want a safe country, a country that they can be proud of when they get old, Mr. Speaker. And that is what we are going to do. All of us in this house were elected by Gen Zs. We never came here by ourselves. We were voted for by Gen Zs. We were voted for by women, by elderly, by every person. And we know what our constituents want. Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I beg to reply.
Member for Lamu, take the nearest seat. Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 10, which is that appreciating that Article 37 of the Constitution guarantees the right to assemble, demonstrate, and present petitions to public authorities peacefully. Further appreciating that on Wednesday, 25th June 2025, sections of the population participated in public demonstrations and protests in various parts of the country. Deeply disturbed that in exercise of this great constitutional right, there were numerous cases of violence, arson, invasion into both private and public properties, attacks on innocent wananchi and security officials, most of police officers, and further deeply disturbed that demonstrators destroyed and vandalized both public and private properties and infrastructure, including courts, administration offices, shops, business premises, homes and supermarkets in various places in the country, including Nairobi, Kikuyu, and Olkalau, among other places, alarmed by attempts by demonstrators to enter girls' schools, including the State House Girls' School, Nairobi. Now, therefore, this House, 1, condemns in the strongest terms the deliberate destruction of public and private property and infrastructure during demonstrations, including court records. 2, express grave concern over the repeated incidents of violence targeting civilians and public officers, including security personnel. 3, affirms and acknowledges the right of every citizen to demonstrate, protest, and express dissent, while emphasizing the need to protect lives, livelihoods, and property. And 4, calls upon the Inspector General of Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to immediately and expeditiously investigate the acts of lawlessness and bring to justice those found culpable, including current and former politicians who are involved in the planning, mobilization, financing, and incitement of mobs, goons, and criminals. As members of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, as we go to the next order, I want to thank you for exhibiting maturity, decorum, and decency in debating a rather emotive issue. The events of yesterday should alarm all of you and all of us Kenyans that we need to speak to each other and make our country safe. This morning, the leadership of this House joined yours truly to meet a delegation from Nigeria, led by the majority leader of their parliament. They have come to Kenya to learn from us on how we engineered our new constitution. They have come to learn from us on how we are nurturing our democracy. What we saw yesterday is an antithesis of democracy. And we want to urge all of us, everybody included in the management of the affairs of the country, more so, we, the political class. It is wrong, it's unlawful, it's unconstitutional, and unacceptable to hide and take advantage of the poverty of our people, to hire them and take them to the streets to suffer untold harm. There was looting and burning of property in Dagoretti up to 8 p.m. last night. Rongai, same thing. Assuming it was demonstrations, demonstrations have a timeline. You start in the morning at 10 and end by 5, 6. I urge you, honorable members, and the legal team that advises the Speaker, you need to think seriously about having a law that governs and protects demonstrations and demonstrators against infiltrations by wrong people hell-bent on doing wrong things. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
We'll go back to receiving responses to statements. A response to Charles Ngusia. Is Charles Ngusia in the House? Yes. The Chair, Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation, is he in the House? He is not. Ngusia will push your response to Tuesday. Response to Mother Wangari by Finance and Planning. Both Mother and Finance are not here next Tuesday. Labor to Cynthia Muge. Yes, Major Deco, you have a response? Then response to Daniel Nanok from Regional Development. Is the Chair Regional Development here? Lochakapong, are you ready? Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This is a statement regarding the implementation of Shirika Plan.
Order. Are you addressing the Speaker or the Chair? Which Chair?
Sorry, I say Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker. Apologies, Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead and respond.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, this is a statement regarding the implementation of Shirika Plan for refugees and host communities submitted to a committee in response to a question that was asked by the member for Turkana West, the Honorable Epuyo Nanok. Now, Honorable Speaker, Kenya has hosted refugees and asylum seekers from the Great Lakes region, East and the Horn of Africa for over 3 decades. Now, the country remains the 5th largest refugee hosting country in Africa and the 13th largest asylum country in the world. Honorable Speaker, the government of Kenya, in collaboration with partners, has been taking concrete steps to improve the conditions of host communities and refugees. In line with Global Compact on Refugees, GCR 2018, and its comprehensive refugee response framework, Shirika Plan builds on the success of past and ongoing programs. In 2022, Honorable Speaker, the government pronounced its intention to strengthen integration through socio-economic inclusion of host communities and refugees through a strategy called Marshall Plan, which was later renamed Shirika Plan. Shirika is a multi-year plan that aims to enhance socio-economic inclusion for host communities in refugees, for them to be self-reliant and resilient. The Shirika Plan is in line with the Constitution of Kenya, Refugees Act 2021, Sustainable Development Goals, Vision 2030, and Medium-Term Plan 4, and bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Shirika builds on the success of Kalobeye Integrated Socio-Economic Development Plan, Phase 1 and 2, and Garissa Integrated Social-Economic Plan. Shirika Plan was officially launched on 28th of March 2025 by His Excellency the President, William Ruto. The plan is an initiative to turn the country's 2 refugee camps in Dadaab and Kakuma into self-reliant integrated settlements, allowing refugees and host communities to live and work side by side and access donor and government services alike. This comes on the back of commitment made through the 2018 Global Compact for Refugees, which Kenya is party to. Shirika Plan has been lauded as a major step forward in securing durable solutions for Kenya's over 800,000 refugees and asylum seekers, finding solutions to forced displacement, many of these refugees having lived in Kenya since the 1990s, has become even more pressing in the wake of recent U.S. aid cuts, which threaten the livelihoods of refugees receiving material assistance from donors. Therefore, Shirika Plan will transform how we respond to refugee crisis from a series of annual care and maintenance programs into a sustainable government-led comprehensive refugee response. Honorable Speaker, the objectives of the Shirika Plan, one is to facilitate the transition to government-led development, development-oriented and integrated services. Two, strengthen the capacity to serve refugees. Now, three, enhance integration in the spirit of balance. Four, of host communities. Pillars of one has and enabling policy, national institutions, capacity, equity, equality, and inclusion. Service delivery focuses on the equitable access to all services, adequate electricity, etc. Pillar number three, Honorable Speaker, human capital and skills development. Community-led backed driven development, TVET, magazine, Honorable Speaker, aimed at sustainable environmental management. Pillar number five, sustainable economic development, focuses on rural and urban business, economic infrastructure, and others. Solutions and complementary focuses on to third country, inclusion, advocacy, coordinated assessments, and cross-border initiatives. Now, to the questions that were raised, Epuya Ranok, the member for Turkana West. Question number one, report on whether the national government has conducted public participation and sensitization on the Shirika Plan, including evidence of the activity and the extent to which it complies with Article 102A. It complies with Article 10(2)A and 232(1)D of the Constitution on involvement of the people in policy making. Now, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, through the State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services and the Department of Refugee Services, held consultative meetings and public participation forums across major refugee hosting counties, which include Turkana, Garissa, Mombasa, Kilifi, Nairobi, Nakuru, Uasin Gishu, Kiambu, and Kajiado. In line with Article 10(2)A and 232(1)D of the Constitution of Kenya, at inception, consultative meetings were held in 2023 and 2024, which was followed by onboarding of a consultant to best capture the views by the public. In 2025, between January and March, public participation forums were held where participants were taken through the draft Shirika document. Between 23 and 25, a total of 75 public engagements, meetings were held. The categories of groups engaged included host communities, refugees, members of parliament, governors, members of county assembly, UN agencies, development partners, donors, international and national government, national non-governmental organizations, counties, departments, and agencies, both levels of governments, private sector, business community, community-based organizations, CBOs, refugee-led organizations, and civil society. Now, the public participation and sensitization forums were conducted in a participatory approach where all participants were allowed to give their recommendations and inputs in the document. The views collected during the public participation, consultations, and sensitization forums helped shape the document that was launched by His Excellency the President on 28th of March 2025. The Shirika Plan is a living document and can be reviewed on need basis. Number two, Honorable Speaker, measures put in place that does not existing community, specifically with respect to infrastructure such as schools, health facilities, water supply, and sanitation, and strategies put in place to fund projects enhancing the socio-economic facilities of host communities. Honorable Speaker, refugees and asylum seekers have been within our communities since Kenya gained independence. The numbers increased significantly in the 1992 during the fall of Somali government. Kenya has since witnessed rising numbers, with the current population standing at 849,625, where 431,216 hosted in Dadaab, 305,421 in Kakuma, and 112,988 in urban areas, Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, and Eldoret. Our refugee situation being protracted over 35 years calls for the need for sustainable solutions, as the current status depicts a picture of over-reliance on humanitarian aid, which is unsustainable. Now, existing infrastructure are also overstretched due to the high population, as well as challenges of duplication of services, parallel and inequalities in certain areas of service. The government aims to address as high integrated service. The Shirika plan adopts a development orientation to expand existing infrastructure areas, including health, water and sanitation, roads, energy, and electricity and social protection. Currently, Kakuba has 14 boreholes, 8 health facilities, 9 boreholes, 24 primary schools, 6 secondary schools, 4 level 3 hospitals, and 8 health posts. Government is working with stakeholders such as the World Bank to expand these facilities and enhance services to refugees and host communities. Under the World Bank's window for host communities and refugees, the following programs are being implemented in the refugee camps. Kenya 1 is Kenya Primary Education Equity in Learning, Phase 2. That is $60 million. That is from 2022 to 2026. This aims to reduce regional disparities in learning outcomes, improve the retention of girls in upper primary education, and strengthen equitable education outcomes. Number 2, Kenya Secondary Education Equity and Quality Improvement Program. That is SIKIP, $50 million, reducing regional disparities in junior by expanding access to teaching quality and strengthening systems education. Program is $50 million. Is from 2020. This one aims to improve, enhance the planning, and support the transition of refugee camps into integrated host community and refugee settlements. 4 is national advancement, $1 million, and 2028 employment. Number 5, resilient and responsive health systems at $40 million budget, and is between improve quality of primary health services and strengthen service delivery. And hygiene, $50 million, 24 have better access and disposal of waste. Funding to implement Shirika plan. Now, funding for implementation of Shirika plan is expected to be from different sources, including the international community. The Shirika plan seeks to leverage partnerships, including bilateral and multilateral partnerships and private-public partnerships to fund ambitions under the Shirika plan for refugees and host communities. A robust financing strategy is under development to ensure predictable and sustainable funding. Question number 3 by the Honorable Member is steps being taken to strengthen security, promote peaceful coexistence, and empower host communities through implementation of the plan. Honorable Speaker, peace and security are at the core of any meaningful development. Cognizant of this, the government has deployed additional security officers to address security matters in refugee hosting areas due to the high population. Now, through peace and security committees, government is leveraging on community structures like Nyumba Kumi and faith-based organizations to promote peaceful coexistence. The Shirika Plan primarily seeks to ensure equitable sharing of resources to address potential conflicts that may arise between refugees and host communities, or indeed different groups internally within both refugee and host communities. The systems building pillar of Shirika Plan places deliberate emphasis on community-based protection mechanisms, security screening, regional collaboration, and security and empowering community-based security approaches, alongside strengthening security agencies and structures to ensure peaceful coexistence between refugees and the host communities. Question number 3, Honorable Speaker, is clarification on terms used as integration of refugees and host communities and details on support mechanisms available to help refugees to become self-reliant, including how job opportunities are being structured to ensure equitable competition between host community members and refugees. Honorable Speaker, local integration is one of the 3 durable solutions outlined in the 1951 Convention relating to status of refugees, in which Kenya is a signatory to. The other 2 are voluntary repatriation and resettlement to third countries. The Refugee Act 2021 defines local integration as the gradual process through which refugees are incorporated into the society through a process that ensures that refugees attain broader rights, have improved standards of living, and positively contribute to the social life of the host community. Under the Shirika Plan, integration refers to social economic inclusion. That is inclusion into service delivery systems. Honorable Speaker, it should be clear that refugees will not enjoy civic and political rights, including the right to vote. Neither will they be granted Kenyan citizenship under the plan. Refugees who want to be Kenyan citizens will have to meet the requirements established in the Kenya Citizenship and Immigration Act of 2011. Now, the State Department will continue to conduct public awareness, sensitization, and information sharing to ensure that both refugees and host communities understand the terminologies and components of the plan. On jobs and livelihoods, the Shirika Plan seeks to develop human capital and skills and create enabling environment for self-reliance and access to livelihood opportunities for both host communities and refugees. Under Shirika, all socioeconomic opportunities will be shared equally between host communities and the refugees. Shirika Plan will leverage on public-private partnerships to provide economic opportunities, including access to finance, market development, and strengthening rural and urban businesses. Currently, a number of initiatives are in place, such as the International Finance Corporation and the Equity Bank partnership of a Kenya shillings 2 billion risk-sharing facility that aims to enhance financial inclusion in and deserved regions, including for host communities and refugees. Honorable Speaker, the last final question, question number 5. The measures put in place to transition the refugees under Shirika Plan, including the specific roles and contributions of key stakeholders, such as the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, to achieve the objective, the implementation is to be done in phases. The plan has laid out the process of transitioning to integrated settlements in which both refugees and members of host communities would benefit from inclusion in national services and from programs aimed at facilitating self-reliance, community-led economic development, and peaceful coexistence. The Shirika Plan will ensure that host communities are at the center of targeted programs and will address the disparities that have existed previously by ensuring equitable access to services. Shirika adopts a bottom-up approach where the needs of communities will be captured in a sector work plans. The implementation shall be in 3 phases. 1, transition phase, that is from 2025 to 2028. Number 2, stabilization phase, 2029 to 2032. And resilience phase, 2033 to 2036. In order to ensure a successful transition to refugees, a successful transition for refugees, a number of issues will need to be addressed. Key among them is harmonizing legal and policy frameworks, development of a government-led refugee management system, that is database, enhancing access to documentation and recognition of refugee IDs by service providers, expanding infrastructure to cater for both host communities and refugees, livelihood programs for both refugees and host communities. Roles and responsibilities of partners. Honorable Speaker, implementation of Shirika Plan adopts a whole of government and society approach, including national and county governments, UN agencies, donors, development partners, private sector, non-governmental organizations, community-based organizations, CBOs, refugee-led organizations, host communities, and refugees. Below are roles and responsibilities of various actors. Government of Kenya. The role of the government is protection of refugees under the 1951 Refugee Convention. Further, government will be responsible for data management, security coordination, security coordinating all stakeholders, and executing its mandate as per Refugee Act of 2021. County governments. Their role is to ensure the inclusion of host communities and refugees in county integrated development plans and promote evolution of refugee-related services through the implementation of projects at the county level that support socioeconomic integration of refugees and host communities. National and county governments, national and county assemblies provide oversight on the use of resources under Shirika Plan. UN agencies led by the UNHCR, their work is to support the government by offering technical expertise, funding, and international policy guidance in refugee protection, humanitarian and development assistance, and the transition towards sustainable development-oriented solutions. The role of development partners, Honorable Speaker, is provide financial resources, technical assistance, and strategic support to facilitate the implementation of the Shirika Plan. Non-governmental organizations, NGOs, is to implement select programs and services that support refugees and host communities, welfare and advocacy, and contribute to capacity building and community resilience. Private sector will catalyze economic growth by investing in local enterprises, creating employment opportunities, and supporting innovation and entrepreneurship among refugees and host communities. Honorable Speaker, cognizant of the importance of community engagement and participation in development and implementation of refugee programs, including those under Shirika, the government intends to continue sensitizing and engaging host communities and refugees throughout the implementation phase. As part of next steps, the State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services, through the technical committees, is developing a costed implementation matrix from which sectors at the camp municipal level will develop the annual sector work plans.
The response has taken quite a long time. Summarize, please, in the interest of time. If you can pick the salient issues that the member asked for, then so that we can conclude, we move to the next response.
Thank you.
Say the earth without art would just be get it? We circumnavigate the globe and traverse the local scene to bring you arts and culture at their very best. From fine art, culinary art, performing arts, and even cultural events, you name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki, and I will be serving you this and much, much more each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.